Hey! So, I happened to stumbled across this Sopranos clip, because I watch a ton of Sopranos clips all the time. I basically have seen the show 3 times just from the clips, but, this one was kind of good. I stumbled across this and thought, oh, this would be perfect for a video, because there is just so much nonsense going on in this scene that just needs to be broken down. It's, and Meadow being an idiot just makes it almost annoying, too. But anyways, let's get into it instead of doing long intros.
Eugene Pontecorvo? He's so sweet.
Sweet? He was like an animal.
Ugh, I wanted to stop on her face. Anyways. Yeah, whatever. So, that's the first thing right there. So she's talking about... So this incident is in reference to when Eugene attacked one of the other guys at the job site. You know, Finn does construction because he got hooked up through... I guess it was through Tony. And, yeah. So he witnessed Eugene beat up one of the other... Well, it wasn't one of the Sopranos crew guys. It's one of the... I don't know, just some guy there on the job site. Maybe he's an actual employee. But anyways, he's talking about how the brutality and how it shook him. And, like, you could tell in the scene when it was happening, he was like, oh, God, this is making me uncomfortable. Because then the guy gets all bloody and all that. I forget what it's over, though. I think it was over something kind of small and stupid. But anyways, you got Meadow over here, who's like, no, why would it be Eugene? He's so sweet. And, like, that's how she always is. Always wants to defend stupid stuff. But anyways, there's 2 things about it. First off, how is she so oblivious about what the mob is like? I don't know anybody in the mob. I'm not in the mob. I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, I have no connections to the mob, but I know what it's all about, how they do a lot of illegal activities, you know, the illegal gambling, the embezzling, the killing and such. Like, you just know these things. And here's Meadow acting apparently oblivious. Eugene would never do anything. He's in the mob, right? Okay, so it's kind of part of the job, if you will. Second off, like, how is she so unaware of the mob in the sense of her dad runs one? Like, how do I best put this? Because I know Tony does a good job at trying to keep things hidden from Carmela. And obviously, if he's doing that good with his wife, you know he's doing double duty for the kids to keep them sheltered from that life. I think the only time he actually ever said anything to Carmela was when he told her about Richie being killed. And even then, he just kind of beat around the bush. He said, Richie's gone. And she was confused at first. And she says, why? Where'd he go? And then he says, gone. And she says, yeah, but where? And then that's when he finally has to break it down. Carmela, after, 18 years of marriage, I've been able to keep you out of my affairs. So, what does he say? Don't make me have to make you an accessory after the fact. And then that's when she realizes, oh, that's what you mean by gone. But even then, that's just kind of beating around a bush. She has no details. She doesn't know that Tony just got back from chopping him up with Christopher. Was it Christopher? Oh, no, Christopher and Furio chopped him up. He was just there cleaning up after Janice. But still, she don't know that. She doesn't know where the body's hidden. She doesn't know who killed him. She just knows that he's gone, and that's it. And I think that's the only time he told Carmela anything. Anyhow, so obviously I would assume that he keeps the kids, you know, pretty sheltered. But I was thinking this. What if you have a mom who's like a prostitute? Well, you're going to see guys coming in and out of your place. Yeah, you might not see what they're... Well, not might. You're not going to see what they're doing because they're going to be in the bedroom with the door shut, possibly. I don't want to say if she's a good mom. If she's a prostitute, it's not really a good mom. But you know what I mean. If she's a quote-unquote good mom, she'll lock the door too so you can't just walk in while she's, quote, air quotes, working. But, yeah, you're still going to have an idea of, though, what's going on. You're going to grow up seeing guys coming in and out and mom setting up something for you to distract yourself with while she's busy. Whether it's, like, putting a movie on or something, or, you know, or having you go over to a friend's house all the time or something. You're going to piece things together. Likewise, with her dad, I mean, he wasn't always a mob boss, but still, he was a capo. He was always high-ranking. You're going to see stuff. she sees all these guys, her uncles, quote unquote, coming in and out. You've got to hear stuff through the grapevine. You see things through the grapevine. Like, how is she so stupid that when he tells her, when Finn's telling her a story about Eugene, that she's just, like, doubting it. Like, Eugene, you have no idea what you're talking about. Why did I say Eugene? Finn, you have no idea what you're talking about. Eugene is a nice guy. You're an idiot. It's like, no, you're an idiot. He was right there. He saw it. He was a matter of feet away from him. I'm pretty sure he was sitting in one of the chairs with the guys when this all happened. He was, like, right there. He could have had some blood splatter on him. Like, shut up, Meadow. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of more stupid stuff coming up very shortly that I'll break down. So I'll just let it run for a little bit, and then I'll pause again and talk about it.
Are you gonna eat?
I'm not hungry. It's too hot anyway.
I told you I was making dinner tonight.
It's really good chili.
Okay, there was a ton just in that small segment of retardedness. So the first one is, if it is this hot out, well, maybe not out, but in their apartment at least, why the heck is Finn wearing a long sleeve flannel shirt? And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, in the opening scene, when this scene opened, or not really the scene, but this clip opened, you can see he's wearing pants as well. If it is that hot in your apartment, why in the heck are you wearing pants and a flannel long sleeve shirt? I mean, he doesn't even have the sleeves rolled up to make it like a makeshift short sleeve. They're down. It is a long sleeve flannel shirt with pants on. Like, my apartment gets pretty hot too. I'm on the 3rd floor, and it's a small place. It doesn't have that many windows. I only have, 3 windows? Yeah, 3 windows. So it gets pretty hot in here. And I have a clock that can tell me both the temperature and the dew point. And there's times where it is 90 degrees in my place, and the dew point is like at 85%. So it is super hot in here. And ridiculously uncomfortable. And the last thing I'm thinking about is putting on a flannel long sleeve shirt to make it worse. Most times when I'm by myself, meaning like my daughter's not here, because that's really the only other person that I have here. So when I'm by myself, I'm just hanging out in my apartment with underwear only. No shirt, no socks, no nothing else. Underwear, and that's it. You got Finn hanging out in his apartment with his girlfriend. He could be naked. Who cares? Why is he so bundled up? And then it's stupid. He's sitting here fanning himself, which, maybe just take your shirt off. That would probably feel way better at first. You know what I mean? Like, if your summer's super hot, say it's hot outside. Like, another example, let's try to make this make sense. At my job, we have a department that runs very hot. The machines run at 300 plus degrees. They have to. If they go any lower, they're not going to work properly. So if you work in that department, it is brutally hot, especially in the summer. It's probably like 130 degrees, 140 maybe even in some areas. Like if you're in a back corner and there's just tons of heat coagulating there, it's brutal. There's times I'm walking through there and I start sweating just walking through. Never mind if you have to actually work in that area. But anyways, sometimes when I'm in there, like say I have to talk to somebody and I'm standing in that area and I'm starting to get super hot and I go outside and it's 90 degrees out and humid, it actually feels better though, because compared to standing in the area that was 140 degrees, 90 feels cool. That's 50 degrees difference. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, instead of sitting there fanning hot air on yourself with a magazine, take your shirt off. It'll probably feel so much better for a few minutes until you get used to it. But at first it'll feel awesome. Stupid. So anyways, that's the first thing. Oh, no. Yep. So now the second thing kind of ties in with the first thing. And it's that it's super hot in their place because their AC isn't working. I mean, throughout this clip, you can kind of hear it rattling in the background. It's on, but it's like dying. It's probably not even functioning. It's just rattling away. It's half dead. Or more than half dead because they're all hot and sweaty. So, the situation here is, Tony and his crew are all about boosting stuff. Cigarettes, TVs, sound systems, whatever the heck they can get. I'm sure ACs is on that list as well. Why didn't Tony hook Meadow up with an AC or 2 or 3 or, put one in every single window? I mean, right behind her, it looks like she's got like a double window right there. They could have 2 ACs right there, one on each side. Why? So that's weird. That has nothing to do with Finn and Meadow, I guess, but it's just kind of weird. Why wouldn't Tony hook her up? Like, it's not like he has to buy it. It's free. He stole it. Just give her a few. Unless she was too proud to ask, because I'm trying to make it on my own, even though she goes there all the time to do her laundry, so you're not really doing it on your own. Stereotypical girl, right? I'm a strong, independent woman, even though I have a boyfriend who pays for everything for me, and he lives with me because I can't live on my own. And, okay, strong, independent, sure. I'm not saying that's Meadow. I was being a generic girl there. But anyways, that's the first thing. Second thing is, if the AC isn't working, why are you leaving it in the window to chug along and do literally nothing for you? Turn it off, unplug it, and take it out the window. At least now, you got your window open. While you have the AC in the window, it's basically a closed window. You take the stupid AC out of the window, now you can get it. If there's a breeze, you can get that. You're not going to get the breeze with your AC not working in the way. Third thing is, if your AC doesn't work, why don't you have fans? You don't see any fans in this scene anywhere. Why don't you get some fans? Get some of those tall ones that stand and they what is it called? They rotate or whatever, back and forth. Get some of those. Get some little, I have like a box fan that I put in my window. You close the window on it like you do the AC, so it holds the fan. Put that on, it feels great. Get some of those in your window. Why are you relying solely on a AC that doesn't work? It doesn't make any sense. Also, what's the status of their windows that don't have ACs? I would assume that the windows are closed, because if you have the AC running, that only makes sense. Why would you want the window open? Now you're going to let more hot air in. Now the AC has to work more and work harder. So I would assume their windows are shut because they're trying to rely on the AC. So, again, take the stupid AC out the window, open all your windows up. Like, logic. Then again, Meadow is pretty, like, liberal, and liberals are very illogical. So, I guess that explains a lot. And Finn's kind of just a little wuss, so he ain't gonna stand up to her and try to knock some sense into her, because he seems like he'd be a little more logical, but he's just gonna bend to her overbearing whininess. So anyways, that was item number 2. Item number 3 is, why in the heck would she make chili if it's so hot out? Chili is like a wintry type food. It's something that you're going to throw a movie on, you're going to sit down on your couch with your blanket and eat a bowl of chili, and you're going to flush it down with some hot chocolate or a hot tea. Like, that's what chili's for. Who the heck makes chili when it's sweltering hot out? That's the dumbest option. What they should have did was had, like, cold cuts. You know, make some sandwiches with bologna or something, ham, I don't know. Some kind of cold cut. That would make way more sense. Or maybe just have some cereal. That's what my mom does sometimes when it's super hot out. Just a bowl of cereal. I know it's not really dinner. Most people would say it's not even proper food because it really contains not too much nutritional value. But still makes more sense than chili. Like, chili is meant to be kind of spicy too, so that means it's going to be heating up your insides, and it's going to be hot because you got to cook it. So not only is it temperature-wise, it's spice-wise. It's the stupidest option when it's hot. Like, what? Seriously, Meadow? You're talking about how you're going to school for medical school or to be a lawyer. Those are like always those positions always hold in esteem of being, you got to be smart to go through with those programs. You clearly ain't too smart if you're cooking chili on a smoking hot day. Now, as a side note with the chili, is I highly doubt she even made that. It's probably something like out of a can, like something cheap that I would do. Just get a can, dump it out, and warm it up in the microwave. I mean, come on, it's Meadow. Has she ever... She grew up with Carmela, who cooks all the time for Tony and stuff. She's constantly in the kitchen. I mean, Carmela's character was basically either in the bedroom or the kitchen. So, Meadow never had to learn how to cook. Yeah, there's some episodes where she's helping her mom, but what is she really doing? Most times, it's like she's just gathering the stuff up. She's getting the bowls out. She's getting the ingredients together. She's not doing anything else. She's not cooking anything. So... I highly doubt she actually cooked that. It's probably just, like I said, something out of a can that she warmed up. So, again, why would you make that? Like, I guess, I don't want to say that chili would make sense if she homemade it, but at least it would have a little more purpose to it. Like, she made something for Finn. Like, ooh, look, I made us chili. But if it's just something dumb out of a can, like, really, you had nothing better that you could have chosen in your cabinet. Now, the fourth thing I want to point out in this scene is the water that they're drinking. That's the only thing that makes sense. A glass of ice water on a smoking hot day. It's the only thing that makes sense in this whole scene. But, kind of as like a marketing situation, something that doesn't make sense is, why didn't they have them drink a Coke here, or a Diet Coke, or something, a Sprite? I only say this because Coke must have been a massive sponsor of Sopranos, because they constantly are having Cokes. There's scenes where they're eating something like super formal. It's like Thanksgiving dinner and everyone's sitting around with a can of Coke, and I'm like, that's not really how that would go. Especially if you're having like a formal dinner like this, you wouldn't have a can of Coke at the table with you. You'd have like wine or something. But it's like they had to put the Coke in because Coke is a huge sponsor and they had to get that in there just because, they have to. Coke's paying them. So I just feel like they missed an opportunity here to just make them have Coke. Product placement, boom, easy. They're drinking cans of Coke. I mean, at the end of the day, too, water's a weird choice for chili. You don't drink water with chili. Chili is like I said, it's a hot chocolate or a tea type meal. Or it would be like a Coke. You drink a soda with it. I'm thinking like you go to Wendy's. You go to Wendy's, you get a chili, you get a baked potato, and you have like a Coke with it. Or a root beer or something. You drink a soda with it. You don't have water. It's weird. I mean, also, if you want to get technical, chili is supposed to be spicy, and most spicy things, I should say, are usually quelled. How do you say that word? Quelled? I don't know. Quelled? I'll just say quelled. If I'm saying it wrong, oh well, you know what I mean. But anyways, it's usually quelled by milk. So even milk would make more sense. I mean, that is kind of weird on a super hot day, but at least in the context of the chili, it would be like, okay, she's trying to coordinate. It's like when you wear, like, sexy socks to match your pants. It might be kind of goofy, but you're trying to coordinate. But, like, ice water just, I don't know, just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's just because that's not what I would choose for a drink. But, I mean, I get it also because, they're trying to put, I don't want to say they're trying to put logic because there's so much illogical stuff, like Finn being way over bundled over there and her choosing the chili and ACs that don't work, but let's leave them in the window. So the water makes sense at least. But I think what they're trying to show overall with the food is like they're broke. They're college students. They don't have much money. And so they make chili because it's cheap, probably, a couple bucks in a can. And they're drinking water because, that's free. You can get it out of the tap. So I get it, but just a little nitpick thing. Anyhow, carrying on, for the most part, I think this video doesn't have too much else that I can nitpick except for something at the very, very end. And I hope I can pause it in time because the video just stops. It's something Meadow says, and she gets done saying it, and then the video stops. So I want to be able to catch it in time. So hopefully I can. So anyways, let's get it.
You should have seen these guys. They were laughing. It was fucking sick. Is this what you grew up with?
What are you talking about?
These people, your dad's friends.
I never saw one bit of violence growing up.
What about your dad's road rage? And didn't you tell me you had a boyfriend once who was killed, shot to death or something?
First of all, he was killed by drug dealers. African Americans, if that makes you feel any better.
All right, that's not really where I wanted to stop it, but I don't want to forget any of this stuff I was talking about. Or that they were talking about, So for one, she says that she didn't see any of the stuff growing. Like Finn's saying, this is what you grew up with, your dad's friends, all this violence, blah, blah, blah. And she says, we never saw any yet. So that's what I was saying before. Like, Tony did a pretty good job at shielding them as well as shielding Carmela. As far as the road rage, I don't know if he's ever really had road rage with any... Well, he kind of had road rage that... Well, it wasn't road rage. It was that time with Carmela when he got pulled over and then the cop ended up losing his job. And then that's when he sees him at the hardware store later. That wasn't really road rage. They were having a tiff with each other, so Tony was just driving like an idiot. But, yeah, I don't know about the road rage. How does Finn even know about that? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Finn's ever been on a ride with him. I don't know. But, anyways, he says, what about, didn't you say you had a boyfriend that got killed? And she says, it was by drug dealers. And it was black people, if you must know. And it's like, Meadow, you are way wrong. First off, no, it was Vito. Vito is not a drug dealer. I don't think he was involved in drugs at all. He was just the construction guy / gay. And second, Vito is one guy. She says black guys, making it plural. Vito is one guy. And third, Vito's not black. He's a regular Italian guy. So... And she's, again, trying to be smug like her usual self, trying to throw it in Finn's face. If you must know. Yeah, well, you're wrong. Finn's actually right, but you're an idiot.
You know, you talk about these guys like it's an anthropology class. But the truth is, they bring certain modes of conflict resolution from all the way back in the old country. From the poverty of the Mezzogiorno, where all higher authority was corrupt.
Whew, I caught it. Anyways, that was what I wanted to talk about, that line. Oh, I hate Meadow. I don't want to pause on her face. I don't want to look at Finn either, but this is irritating. Get out of here, Meadow. F you. Stop. You're not really looking at me, but stop. I hate Meadow so much. I hate Meadow's character, and I hate AJ's character. AJ is such a faggot. Oh, my word. All he does is cry. The only season he was cool was season 1 when he was a little kid. As soon as he started to grow up and started to get some facial hair, he turned into such a faggot. And Meadow, she's always just like this, always confrontational and whiny and thinks she knows what she's talking about and always thinks she's right and wants to be controversial-ish and stuff. Like that time that at the funeral, and she's trying to start trouble. I mean, because she was drunk, but she's over there throwing spitballs or something at AJ. And, I hate Meadow. I hate both those kids. It's like, how do you have a dad that's a mob boss and you two are just faggots? Seriously. But anyways, she's over here trying to justify the mob. And she's talking about how, you don't understand, they have ideologies from the old country, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, first off, Meadow, shut your mouth. None of you know the old country, because you all grew up here. Tony grew up here in the United States, you have, and possibly Tony's parents did as well. Junior's, and Johnny Boy, and Olivia. Y'all grew up here. So what are you talking about old country? You don't know anything about the old country. The only one that would is Furio, because he's from Italy. And even at that, he wasn't even here that long. He was in the show for, what, a couple seasons? He shows up in season 2, episode 2, right? I'm pretty sure. And he's gone by season 4, I think. Yeah, pretty sure by season 4 he's gone. Whenever Tony and Carmela had their fight, he was already gone. I think that's season 4, right? So, right? Yeah, I think so, because season 5 is when Junior shoots him, and then season 6A is when they make up, and things start getting better, and then season 6B is when they have, like, the whole fallout with Leotardo and stuff. So anyways, yeah, Furio is not even in the show that long. But anyways, if there's anybody to know anything about the old country, it would just be him. And she's trying to justify the whole entire crew, though, for that, when they know nothing about it. Second off, so here she is trying to justify mob life, which consists of embezzlement, intimidation, theft, murder, any kind of criminal activity, you name it, and the mob's probably a part of it. Illegal gambling, even legal gambling. They get their hands in the casinos and stuff, right? So she's trying to justify all of this by saying that, they are just doing what they know from their hard times, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you're relating to what? Back when the Cosa Nostra stuff started or whatever, hundreds of years ago or something? When life was way different? And it's in Italy? I mean, I don't know what Italy's truly like. I don't know how corrupt it is or lawless. I don't know. But they're here in the United States where it's still pretty corrupt, but I'd say it's not lawless. Like, your justification process is just very weak and stupid. And she's over here, look at this face. Look at that stupid face. Acting like she did something, trying to tell off Finn. No, you idiot. You didn't do anything. You just made yourself look stupider, and you made Finn's point look even better. Like, it's just funny, too, because she was going to med school originally, wanted to be a doctor, and then she ends up changing it, saying that she wants to go to law school, so that then she can represent Italian-American minorities, because of when she sees the cops the FBI, pulling her dad out of the house all the time. And it's like, wow, you're going to be a great lawyer when you come up with nonsense like this. Seriously, though, she really can go either way. She can be an absolutely terrible lawyer because her arguments always suck, and she just says any stupid thing that first comes to her head, like any female does. Not trying to be sexist, but come on, let's be real. Have an argument with any woman. Do they really ever stop and think before they start rambling on and going on a tirade? Not usually. Not the ones I've had experiences with. They say the first thing that comes to their head. And then they work out a way to defend that stupid nonsense. And that's exactly what Meadow does. Secondly, on the other hand, she could be great. She could be good because she'll come up with such a weird, nonsensical, stupid, retarded, not thought out argument that when it gets presented will confuse the heck out of everybody and they won't really know how to defend against it. And then when they try, she'll come up with more nonsense to argue with them, and it's just going to be like a vicious circle of like them not losing, but her argument is just so wild that the defense doesn't know how to argue against it, and so she ends up winning by using nonsense, which would be kind of unfair to the person that's, on trial. But yeah, she'll either be a terrible lawyer or a great lawyer. But in any case, I don't think lawyer is what she should be pursuing. She's not smart enough for that. Also, she says she wants to be a lawyer so that she can represent the injustices that Italian Americans face and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's kind of dumb. Like, do you not realize that the FBI are coming to your house and raiding and arresting your dad and raiding the house all the time just because he's the mob boss? What do you think that entails? The FBI is being racist and prejudiced against him because he's Italian? No, it's because of what he does, stupid. So stop sitting there with that dumb face. The FBI is there because they're trying to bust him on his embezzling and on his murder charges and on his everything that he does to get around the FBI in the first place. Hello? Yeah, there's a lawyer right there for you. Ugh. I hate Meadow.